Your dog looked at you today. Maybe it was this morning. Maybe it was 5 minutes ago. And you probably thought nothing of it. But what if that look wasn't love? What if it was confusion? What if your dog, the one who sleeps beside you, the one who runs to the door every time you come home, has been quietly losing trust in you and you never even noticed? That is not a scare tactic. That is not clickbait. That is something happening in millions of homes right now, and most dog owners have absolutely no idea. Because the things destroying trust between you and your dog are not obvious. They are not dramatic. They are small, everyday moments. Moments you probably think are harmless or even loving. And they are slowly building a wall between you and your dog that you cannot see. Stay with me, because what you are about to learn might change everything. Most people believe that if their dog is happy, wagging its tail, and eating well, everything is fine. And that makes sense. That is how we judge things in our human world. But dogs do not experience trust the way we do. For a dog, trust is not built in big, dramatic moments. It is built, or broken, in the tiny, quiet, everyday interactions that most people completely overlook. Here is what makes this so painful. You can genuinely love your dog with everything you have and still be breaking its trust without knowing it. You can think you are being kind, being playful, being a good owner, and your dog's nervous system is reading it completely differently. This is where the guilt hits, and I want you to sit with it for just a second. Because every dog owner who has ever done these things, every single one, was not a bad person. They just did not know. And that is exactly why this video exists. Because the moment you understand what your dog is actually experiencing, you cannot unsee it. And once you cannot unsee it, you will never go back to doing things the old way. Here is what this video is going to do for you. By the time we are done, you are going to understand the specific behaviors, things you do every single day that your dog experiences as confusing, threatening, or dishonest. You are going to understand the science behind why these things affect your dog so deeply. And you are going to walk away knowing exactly what to replace them with. Some of these will surprise you. Some of them will make you feel a little guilty. But number 5 is the one most people never see coming, and it is arguably the most damaging of all. So let us get into it. Let us start with the one that almost every dog owner does, usually out of pure excitement, rushing toward your dog in an overly intense, high-energy way. Picture it. You walk through the door after work. You are excited. Your dog is excited. You drop everything, rush over, get right in your dog's face, and start petting them aggressively on top of the head while using a high-pitched voice. And your dog is squirming, licking the air, maybe even ducking slightly. And you think they love this. But here is what most people do not realize. Coming at any animal face first, making intense direct eye contact, and moving at high speed. In dog language, that is a threat display. It does not matter that you love them. Their nervous system does not process your intentions. It processes your body language. And what your body is saying is aggressive, unpredictable, and unsafe. The emotional meaning here is significant. Every time your dog braces or ducks away from your excitement, and you continue anyway, you are teaching your dog that their signals do not matter, that you will not listen. And a dog who believes you will not listen to them eventually stops trusting that you understand them at all. The fix is simple, but it feels unnatural at first. When you come home, take a breath. Let your dog come to you. Crouch down if you want to invite them closer. Pet them under the chin or on the chest, not on top of the head. Give them the gift of a calm greeting. And watch how differently they settle into you. That moment of calm is a deposit straight into your trust account. The second behavior is one people almost never think of as a problem, and that is using your dog's name when something negative is about to happen. You call out their name to clip their nails. You say their name right before you give them a bath they hate. You use their name to end a fun moment in the yard. Over time, and this is where the science gets fascinating, your dog learns that their name can be a warning signal. It predicts discomfort. And so when you call their name, instead of racing toward you with full joy, they hesitate. They slow down. Sometimes they look away, and you wonder why they are being stubborn. They are not being stubborn. They are being cautious. Their name used to mean safety and love. Now it means brace yourself. This is where it gets serious, because the name is supposed to be your dog's happiest trigger word. It should make their whole body light up. Every time you use their name to summon your dog towards something they do not enjoy, you chip away at that magic. The solution? Never call your dog by name and then immediately do something they dislike. Go get them instead. Bring the nail clippers to them without the dramatic name call. Protect the power of their name like it is something precious. Because to your dog, it is. Third on this list is something that feels loving but is actually one of the most confusing things you can do, and that is comforting your dog the wrong way when they are afraid. Your dog is scared of thunder. They are trembling. And your instinct, completely human, completely understandable, is to pull them close, stroke them intensely, and say in a high, soothing voice, "It's okay, baby. It's okay." And what you do not realize is that your nervous energy, your tense body, your anxious baby voice, all of it confirms to your dog that there is something worth being afraid of. Dogs read energy, not words. When you are tense and overly reassuring, they translate that as, "My human is also scared. This must be dangerous." Most people do not realize they are making fear worse in the very moment they think they are helping. What actually builds trust during fear is calm, grounded presence. Not hovering, not talking in high-pitched tones, just being steady. Sit near them. Breathe slowly. Let them feel your calmness like a signal that says, "I am here and nothing is wrong." That is what trust actually feels like to a dog in a fearful moment. The fourth behavior cuts a little deeper, and this one might sting. It is inconsistency, and specifically, inconsistent rules. Today, your dog is allowed on the couch. Tomorrow you were in a bad mood and you pushed them off. Last week you laughed when they jumped on a guest. This week, you scolded them for the same thing. From your perspective, these are isolated moments. From your dog's perspective, the world has no logic. And dogs do not just need love. They need to be able to predict their environment. Predictability is safety. When a dog cannot predict what behavior will result in warmth versus punishment, they develop something researchers call chronic low-level stress. They become anxious, clingy, or withdrawn. They are not misbehaving. They are surviving an environment that does not make sense. The emotional meaning of this is profound. When you are consistent, your dog relaxes. Not because you are strict, but because you are reliable. And reliability is the foundation of trust. Not just in dogs, in every relationship that has ever mattered. Now, before we get to the last 2 points, and trust me, you do not want to miss number 5, I want to take a second here. Because if you are watching this and feeling some guilt, that is not a bad thing. That guilt means you care, and caring is where everything gets better. Most people who damage their dog's trust are not neglectful, they are just uninformed. The difference between a dog who trusts deeply and a dog who is quietly anxious is not how much love you have, it is how you deliver it. So stay with me, because the final 2 points are where this goes from interesting to life-changing. Point 5. This is the one. This is the behavior that does the most damage, is the least talked about, and when people finally understand it, they never forget it. It is making promises your dog cannot understand, and then breaking them. Here is what that looks like in real life. You pick up the leash. Your dog goes absolutely wild with excitement. And then your phone rings, and you put the leash down. Or you say, "Want to go for a walk?" In that voice, and then something comes up. This happens once, twice, 10 times, and slowly, your dog starts to lose the belief that exciting signals mean exciting outcomes. But more than that, and this is the part that changes everything, your dog starts watching you differently. Not with joy, with doubt. They learn that your signals are unreliable, that the things that used to mean good things now might mean nothing. And in that space between expectation and disappointment, trust begins to quietly die. Your dog is trying to tell you this every time they hesitate at the door, every time they do not respond to the leash with the same full-bodied joy they used to. Do not make the promise if you cannot keep it. Do not use the walk voice unless you are going on the walk. Do not show the treat if you are not giving the treat. Every time you do what you say, your dog adds a stone to the foundation of trust. And every time you do not, one falls away. The sixth and final point is perhaps the most overlooked because it does not feel like a mistake at all. It feels like play. It is rough, unpredictable physical play. Grabbing paws, flipping your dog over, fake chasing them, using your hands to wrestle. And sure, some dogs tolerate this. Some even seem to enjoy parts of it. But here is what the science tells us, and this is where it gets important. When a dog is grabbed unpredictably, pinned or handled roughly, even in play, they experience a spike in stress hormones. And if this is a regular pattern, their baseline stress level rises permanently. They begin to see your hands as unpredictable objects rather than sources of comfort. And the worst part, they often do not show it in ways you recognize. They do not growl. They do not bite. They just become a little more hesitant when your hand reaches toward them, a little more tense when you move fast, and you never connect it to the roughhousing. Dogs need to know that your hands are always safe, always predictable, always kind. When your dog flinches slightly as your hand comes down too fast, that is not nothing. That is your dog telling you something important. And one of the most powerful things you can ever do is listen. Here is what it all comes down to. Trust between a dog and a human is not built in grand gestures. It is built in the 10,000 tiny moments that make up a life together. In how you greet them, in how you say their name, in how you show up when they are scared, in whether your rules make sense, in whether your promises mean something, in whether your hands always feel safe. Your dog does not need perfection. They do not need a trainer, a perfect house, or a perfectly structured day. They need you to be someone they can count on, someone who is calm when they are scared, consistent when the world is confusing, someone whose hands always feel like safety. And when you become that person, even slowly, even imperfectly, something shifts in your dog. You will feel it before you can name it. They settle differently near you. They follow you with a little more ease. They look up at you and hold the gaze just a second longer. That is trust. That is what you are building now. And it is the most important thing you will ever give them. If this video made you feel something, if it made you think differently about even one moment between you and your dog, share it with someone who loves their dog the way you do. And if you want to keep going deeper into dog psychology, into behavior, into what your dog is actually feeling and thinking, subscribe, because there's so much more to learn, and your dog is worth every single second of it.